Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com.
So, what we have discussed so far, what is version control system? Three types of version control system: local, centralized, and third is the distributed. So, Git, Bitbucket, these are the example of distributed version control system. In the distributed version control system, you have the local repository as well as the remote repository. The local repository is Git, and the remote repository is GitHub, the one which we are going to discuss. Then we have discussed some commands which are related to the Git, like we have the configuration file, which is global level, and the local level. So global level configuration file is common to all the projects which is running on that particular system, and the local configuration file is basically related to that project. So for example, if you want to set a username for same for all your projects, then put it into the global configuration file. But if you want to specific for a particular specific to a particular project, then put it into the local configuration file. Okay, so these things we have discussed so far. Now let us move ahead and see some more commands. Git init command, as I mentioned. So the git init command is basically used for the initialize a project for your local repository. And if I say git status, it basically tells the status of your files. So for example, we are having, let us discuss these commands, few commands, which is the git commit, git log, git difference, git reset. Okay. So means if time permits, I will show you that git repository part also today, GitHub repository part, global repository. Otherwise, we will discuss in the next lecture. So here, as I mentioned, there are three areas. So first area is your untracked file where you are currently working. And second is the stage area. Stage area means these are the files which are ready to commit. Okay, ready to commit. And next is the commit, means you are storing the files into the local repository. Every commit will have one commit ID, which is a unique. Okay, every commit has a commit ID, which is unique, and those commit ID you can see with the git log command. So let us see this. If I create a file, say touch file 4.txt, so by default, this file is in the untracked, whether the file is created or modified. So it goes into the untracked area first. Once it is in the untracked, then you want to push it into your local repository. Then you need to use git add command. So you can use git add and the file name, or you can use dot. When you put dot, all the untracked file goes into the stage area. All the untracked files will go into the stage area. So I have only one untracked file, so I can use this command. So now the file goes into the stage area, and you see the with the color also. If it is red color, it means it is a untracked. And if I say git status now if it is in the green color, it means it's a stage area. Now, if the file is in the stage area and you want to, by mistake, you have run this command. Okay, so by mistake, you have run this add command. Now, file goes into the stage area. Now, you want to move it back to the untracked area. Then you can run this command. If you see on the screen, it is showing git restore hyphen hyphen stage, right? So, this command and then the file name which you want to unstage. So I want to unstage my file 4. Okay, press enter. So now this file is unstaged. Now if I say git status, so you can see file is unstaged now, right? Now again you need to add. So until unless you commit the thing, the files can move to stage to untrack to stage. Okay. So even though we can revert back when the file is in the commit also, okay, but before commit, everything you can switch to untracked to the stage area. Okay, so now if I say,
Hey viewers, our Master in DevOps engineering program can help you to hone the skills necessary to succeed in high level DevOps positions. So, what are you waiting for? Enroll now and earn certification that show you are keeping pace with today's technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
git status, and if I say git add dot, so once file is in the stage area, then you can run the git commit command. Git commit -m. -m is the mandatory option, which is for the message, because whenever you are doing a commit, at that time uh, you don't uh, you don't you don't know means what commit it is, because it will give you the commit ID, which is unique, but that is not meaningful, and you want to say that this commit is for that purpose, so you need to enter the message here. So if I say git commit -m, and I'll say file 4 is added. So once you run this commit command, then this particular version is recorded in the git repository. So if I say git log, so you can see all these messages, like this is my last commit, file 4 is added, this is before that, this is before that, and this is the first one. If you think that I don't want to see other information like author and all this, so you can run one more command, git log hyphen hyphen one line. Okay, so here you can see it's not unnecessary information. Commit ID is also not, it will not display complete commit ID. So it is showing here. Now, for example, you want to make some changes into your file. Say an example, I'm going to make a change into the file 4. So I'll say cat file 4.txt. I'm adding some value here. This is first file, or this is okay, code is added to file 4. Okay, and I will save it. Now if I say cat file 4.txt, so you can see this is, but I did not commit this change. So if I say git diff, so it is saying that as of now in the file 4 you have one difference, and that is what. So there are some commits. So if I say git log hyphen one line, now this is the commit ID, right? I did not commit so far, so that is why it is comparing this commit ID with the current change. So it is saying that file 4 is having one extra line, which is not present in my previous commit, and it is saying what is that code is added to the file 2. Okay, I am fine with that. So let me do a commit. So if I say git add dot, then I'll say git commit -m file 4 is modified. Okay, so if I say git status, nothing to commit. If I say git log hyphen one line, so you can see file 4 is modified. This is the last commit. Now if you want to see the difference between this commit and this commit, so you can run a command again, git diff command again, but now you need to compare this commit with this commit. Okay, I add it together. Okay, so it will show the difference between the previous commit and this commit is one line is added, right? So this is the git diff command.
Hi, Raman, what is the index here? What
Index means currently where your pointer is. Okay, so currently I'm in that commit which was basically pointing to file 4 is modified. Okay.
Okay. And I can use the git diff in any two commit IDs, or they should be in the branch, same branch.
So as of now, yes, we did not discuss about the branches. So
Okay.
when we will discuss in the branches, so that's a different scenario. We need to merge it and then we can see. Okay.
Okay.
Anupam Ghosh has one question. Here is how it works in real world. So Anupam, you want to say something? Development to pull the request all the day, and they are merging, checking the code, creating the new branches. Yes, absolutely right. So we, means as a developer, we pull the code from the remote repository GitHub, and we make the changes and push it back to the GitHub. That's right. Yeah. Okay. So with this these commands, you know the internals, how it works, right? What are the different commands basically? So when you are pulling the code from the GitHub, then you are pushing the code. So behind the scene, what are the commands running? So these are the commands.
Hey viewers, trying to get into DevSecOps? Enroll for our DevSecOps certified professional programs and earn the certification that shows you are fit for these technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
All right. So now So we have seen the git diff command. Now, for example, you are having some files which you don't want to make a part of the version control system, like your executable files, your libraries, etc. So these files are basically files which does not have a code, exe file. So exe file is a binary file, executable files, and you don't want to put it into the local repository or remote repository. So you can ignore these files, because if you see, I have created file 1, file 2, so it is showing as the untracked file. I don't want that all these files should be in the untracked, or it should not be considered as a part of the local repository. Then what you can do, you can basically create a file which is uh, .git ignore. Okay, so this file is basically file which will ignore the files for the git repository. For example, if I say .git ignore, and if I write something, say 1.exe file, that is to be ignored. Okay, Control C. Now, if I create a file, touch 1.exe file, and if I say git, if I say ls, yes, this file is there 1.exe, but it will be ignored. So if I say git status, so you can see it is showing only the git ignore, even though you can hide this also by writing under the git ignore for, you can say .git ignore. So it will ignore this file also if you don't want to keep this information, right? So see, now nothing to come in. Not only this, you can use the wildcard characters also. Like you have the log files. You don't want to track the log file because these are very heavy files. Unnecessarily, um, it will basically add the burden to the repository. So I will say git. So let me create some files. Touch 1.log file, 2.log file. Okay. So if I say ls, these two files get created. Now if I say git status, so these files are showing as a untracked file. So I don't want to track these files. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write it into the git ignore file. So what I will say, star.log. So it means every file which is having extension star means extension .log, that will be ignored. Now if I say git status, so you can see those files are ignored. Okay, so this is git ignore. So let us go back to our notes. So git diff we have seen, git log we have seen. Now let us see the git reset command. Okay, so what is the meaning of reset? Reset means, for example, you are having a index position, which is, if I say git log hyphen one line, so you can see the head position is on the file 4 is modified here, right? And if you see, if I say cat file 4.txt, so there is some value, right? There is one line is added, and this file is, this particular commit is done. See the commit number. It is C13112DA. I want to reset this commit. Then I will use the reset command. So if you want to reset the commit, then you need to use the reset command. So for example, there are three types of reset. One is mixed, one is soft, and third is hard. So now let us try with the reset. By default, it is mixed mode. Okay, so for example, let me take new example here. If I say touch file 5.txt, okay, so I have created this file. If I say git status, file is 5.txt file is added. Now if I say git add dot, and now if I say git commit -m, file 5 is added. Okay, so now if I say git status, git log, one line. So last commit is basically file 5 is added. Now if I say git reset, you can use -- mixed, or you can ignore it. If you ignore, then it will be mixed only. By default, it is mixed mode. And if I say that is head tilde 1. So if I say head tilde 1. So the reset command basically runs in a for the commits which you have recently done. So if I say head tilde 1, so it means I'm talking about the last commit only. So what it will do? It will reset it. It will delete that commit, and it will, whatever the changes you have done, it will be reset. So let us see what it is doing. So when I run this command, now if I say git status, so now you can see that particular 5.txt file goes into the status which is untracked. Next, if I say git log, if I see.
Hey viewers, are you looking for formal training on SRE practices? Take our SRE program. This course will teach you how to successfully implement site reliability engineering in the modern day 24/7 services. Kickstart your SRE training today. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
So now you can see the log which is 5 file is added. So this is deleted. This log entry is deleted. So git reset command will delete the log, and it will reset to the untracked format. For example, you have added some line, so that line will be go into a file, and that file will go into the untracked. So that is mixed mode or default mode. Now if I say git add dot, again I am adding git commit -m, file 5 is added. Okay, now if I say git log, one line, so you can see file 5 is added, that commit. Now if I run that command again, git reset, and now I'm using soft. So what soft will do, it will not move the file to the untracked, but it will move to the stage area. So if I say git reset soft, and the means which commit you want to do, I want to do the previous commit. If you want to do last 2 commits, then 2, but it will be consecutive. Okay, so now it is reset. If I say git status, so you will see now the file is not untracked, the file is in the stage area. All right. Now, if you want to, let us see that log also.
What is the use of keeping the file or resetting to stage area?
Okay, so for example, you have done some commit, but you were trying to push it into the you try to push it into the commit, means the local repository, but your lead says no, don't commit it at this moment, because still we have some changes may be expected, or until I give you the green signal, you need not to commit it. So in that case, you are keeping that you already committed it by mistake, then you can uncommit it and put it into the stage area. Okay, it's just kind of a revert back the previous commit. Okay, now third, let us see the git log also here. Okay, so now you can see file 5 is added, that commit was deleted. Now if I say git add, again I will add this file, git commit -m, I will say file 5 is added. Now if I say git reset, and I want to reset in such a way that one stage, means before it came to the untracked file, I want to bring back to that stage, means the file will be deleted permanently, my changes will be deleted permanently, it will not even in the untracked format. So it means I'm reverting back completely, not even in the untracked area also. So if I say reset and if I say hard, okay, so this command, if you are executing in your development environment, then you need to be very careful, because it will totally change the or remove the commit. So now it is modified. So if I say git status, so you can say nothing to commit, and where is file 5? It's not here, right? So now if I say git log, and you can see that particular commit is deleted. Okay, so these are 3 options which you can use with the git reset command. Anyone has any question? All right, so now let us move to the next topic, which is the revert. Okay, so here in the reset, the thing is that you can revert back the changes, but that should be recently one, means last 1 commit, last 2 commits. It is not in between. For example, you want to revert back to which is commit number 3, commit number 7. So these things you cannot do with the git reset command. For that, we have another option, which is the git revert. Okay, so now here you can see that I have file 3.txt is added. So if I want to revert back this commit, so what you can do, you can run a command git revert and your commit ID. One more thing, in the git reset, when you delete the commit, it is not recording that you have done this activity. For example, I have deleted one commit with the reset command, but it is not recorded anywhere. But when I use the revert command, it will record. So here what I'm saying, git revert and that commit ID. What is that commit ID? It is saying file 3.txt is added. So it means I'm reverting, I'm removing that file. Okay, so now when you are reverting the changes, it is saying this message is fine, which you want to put. So what it is saying, this reverts the commits, this one. Okay, so if you want to change the message, you can change it. Or if you want to keep same, it's a VI editor only. So I'm okay with this. Okay, so what it has done, delete mode for this particular file. Now if I say ls, see file 3.txt is not there. Let us check our log. So you can see that there is one more commit is added, and this commit is saying I have reverted the file 3.txt. Okay, I reverted the file 3.txt. It means now you can clearly see with this log that why file 3.txt is not available, because I have executed this command and this command basically deletes the file. Can I do a revert to revert back? So complement of A to the complement, it is A only, right? So if I say I want to revert file 3's which was deleted, that commit. So if I say git revert, and if I say I want to revert to this, so it is revert, yes, I'm fine with this. Now what will happen? File 3.txt is reverted back. And if I say git log hyphen one line, so you can see revert of file 3.txt is there. So this is how you are reverting your changes. Anyone has any question?
Raman, yeah, here in reset you mentioned the only two commits, two operations we can do, whatever the things that you mentioned, head one, right? Max only two actions only we can revert it or reset it.
In the reset command?
Yes, yes.
Not maximum two. You can say 3, 4, 5, but it should be consecutive.
Okay, okay, yeah, thank you. There is no any limit for that.
There is no limit.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else has any question? All right. So
Will this revert recover the hard reset files?
that is a different, because hard, as I mentioned, so when you are using the reset command, at that time you are not having the not having any recording that what it has done. So that we cannot revert back. because there is no new commit got created for that kind of operation.
And Raman,
Okay.
can you just put git log, the full log file, not one line?
Okay, what you want to see?
Yeah, just like the username, who did what, everything will be available. I just want to see the view. Yes, thank you.
Raman,
right.
it is advised, is it like advised to use revert more, because since it can track the changes, right? There's a commit ID rather than reset. Would you say that?
So it totally depends upon your requirement to requirement. So if you don't want to track those requirements, means those commits, go with the reset, and if it is consecutive. But if it is, say, an example, like I had given one example, file3.txt, and you think that it is not required, so what you are doing, you are just reverting. So if you want, previous commits should be reverted back, then you can go with the revert. And if you want to do the recent one without tracking the commits, then go with the reset command.
Okay, I have one more question. Say in commit 1, I have created a file and added some content. And in commit 3, I have modified the content of whatever we have created in commit 1. Now, if I revert commit 1, what would happen to commit 3? The file would have been reverted, right, in commit 1? What would happen to
Yes,
commit 3?
so yeah, I'll show you that also. So
Yeah.
for example, if I say okay, so if I say I have if I say git log, right, and hyphen one line, so file 4 is modified, right? So you are saying file 4 is added, I want to remove that, right? This one. So what I
Yes.
will do, git revert, and I want to revert this change. Okay, so it is giving some error. It cannot be reverted because file 4 deleted in the parent this, which is this, and modified the head version. Error could not revert these changes. File 4 is added. Okay, because there was a modification after that, right? So let
Okay.
us see. Let us see, because actually this is related to see, the file is not reverted back because there were some more commits after that. So if you delete the file and you keep the modification, it does not make sense for the Git, right? So
Yeah.
that revert operation is not possible.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else has any question? Okay. So what basically you need to do whenever you get the time, you need to go to a website github.com. We will discuss more about this in the next lecture. And what you need to do, once you open this, it basically opens a, means if you don't have the account already, then it basically opens a screen where you need to enter the, you need to sign up basically. So you need to sign up over there, and you need to create a account. After creating the account, it will ask for the email verification. So you need to do the email verification as well. Once the email verification is done, then you will be able to use this particular account. Okay, so this thing you need to do offline. You need to create an account. Okay, so there is a question. Are we going to resolve the commit conflicts, demonstration and explanation? Yes, yes, we will discuss that. That will come under the Git branch topic, where we'll solve the merge conflict. Okay, so I will show you one more thing. So once you have the account on the GitHub, so what I'm saying, if you if I sign out from here, okay, you will get such kind of a screen. You need to click on the sign up, and it's a very simple form. You just need to enter your email ID and the password, and verification email goes to your email account. Just verify that email. Okay, once you have, then you can sign in. Okay, so once you are signed in, you will, on the left hand side, I have some repositories, but in your case, if you are using first time, you will not have that repositories. Okay, so here what we are going to do, we are going to create a repository. Okay, so let us create that repository. So you can click on a start a project, or you can click on a new, either of this way. So when you create a username, so there will be one username added. So in my case, it is KMIT solution. So, but it will be your user ID. And then the repository name. So you want to create a repository. See, the repository which I have created on the local, same way I want to create it on the global, on the remote machine. Then I'm using the GitHub repository. Okay, so if I say my global repository name is, you can give any name. So if I say my project, okay, so it will show that whether your project is this repository you can create or not. If you have already created, it will not allow you to create this. Then it shows whether you want to create a public or private repository. So public repository means this will be available to everyone. And private repository means only you can access it. Even the public repository means read-only access to everyone. And in the private means you don't give the read access even to the others. So you are giving the read-only access to others, then you can go with the public. So for example, you are an open source developer and you want to share your code with others, then you can go with the public repository. So they can download your code, they can change it, but they cannot upload to your repository. You are the owner. You will have the permission to upload the files or modify the files into this repository. So public is that. Private means, for example, you have a team, your own team, and your company has purchased the GitHub account for your team, or maybe for your company level. So you can create your own repository. You can use the global means repository also, means private, but you need to pay for that. It is not free of cost. And so it's totally up to you. I'm going to select the public repository. Now, if you want to add any of these files, git ignore, now we can put the pattern of the files which we want to ignore. If you want to put that, you can put the git ignore file, or if you want to add a readme file which is having the extension .md, or you want to add some license related files, you can add it. I'm not adding any one of this, and I'm creating a blank repository. Okay, so this repository, which is the empty repository, it get created over here, and now we can add the files from our local repository, or we can directly create a file over here, and we can pull or push the changes to from our system. Okay, that we will see in the next lecture. So before winding up this lecture, anyone has any question? All right, guys. So yes, in the next lecture, what we will do, we will discuss some operations related to the GitHub. We will see how to pull, push, fetch, merge. We will see the branching topic, where we are going to discuss what is Git branch, what is the different operations you can perform in the branches. We will see the tags command, versions command, right? And we will see the stash command, and we will sync our local repository with the remote repository. So all these things we will discuss in the next lecture.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.